Howdy everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Brick Travie, and today we'll be doing a honors review of LEGO's UCS set number 75367, the Venator class Republic Attack Cruiser. This set has 5,374 pieces and is an absolute beast to build. So this is my first of the UCS big ships that I've ever built. So I'm super excited about it. I was excited to buy it. It took me about 2 months to be able to actually get the time to actually build the thing. And now that we're here, let's take a look and see what we think. So I'll see you here in a second. Let's go ahead and take another look at the sides of the box here. So on the front, of course, you have the main image. So if we turn our box this way, we get a back side or a rear view of the actual Venator. We turn it to the back side of the box and you get the, of course, the black box art with that blue logo behind it represent it is from the Clone Wars, as well as a magnificent side view of that Venator itself. And then we get some live shots of the Venator. These are from in the universe. I do believe this is the only live action shot. The rest of them, I believe, are actually from the Clone Wars TV show, but correct me if I'm wrong there. And then we get some cool shots of Yularen and Rex there. We keep turning around and we get that 20th anniversary Clone Wars logo, which is always cool to see, as well as a front view of the Venator. And we turn back to the front of our box and we slide it on down and we get another top angle view of the Venator, as well as the name in different language. And then we get a 1-to-1 scale model of Yularen there. And that is all the sides of the box. Okay guys, so upon opening the bigger box, inside we find two smaller boxes and they are labeled 1 and 2, as you can see here. And on the sides you have this amazing box art of the Battle of Coruscant, where you see multiple examples of the Venator. So on this one you see Anakin's Eta-2 Starfighter, as well as some Separatist Dreadnoughts and some Lucrehults. And if we turn the boxes around, you see a couple of closer up shots of the actual Venator. So you see angles of the actual engines here and a top view. So there are the two inner boxes, and let's check out the instructions. So inside the box, you get two white sleeves, and in these sleeves, you get 4 instruction manuals. Like I said, this set is over 5,000 pieces, so you do get an assortment of manuals. So this all gives you different angles the Venator actually has. So I think if you move some of these around, you do get some cool little angles, like this one right here. As you can see, it gives you a full shot of the Venator, which is actually pretty cool. But I think that's the only one that actually does that, as this is a back view, and then this is the front view itself. So overall, I do believe that these are some awesome instruction manuals. And I do like the graphics on here. I know it's that generated picture instead of the older style, but still awesome cover art on these manuals here. Okay, everyone, and now the moment of truth. Oh, this is a heavy boy. Oh. So, here we have the fully built and on display UCS Venator. So it is an amazing looking set. It was quite fun to build, actually, especially for a set of this size. Sometimes it kind of gets lost in translation where you're building for so long that it gets kind of frustrating. And this one was not. I will admit that the only part that I did find a little bit difficult to understand in the manual was this red stripe going down the center here. That was the way the instructions had it listed was kind of hard to understand, but once I figured out what it was trying to accomplish, it was pretty easy. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to move my camera around. I just want to get you guys a still shot, and then we'll see what we have. So we'll start with the minifigures and then work our way up. Okay, everybody, as you can see here with that perfect Venator view in the background here, they have our display plaque with our two minifigures, which is Captain Rex and Admiral Yularen. And this is the only time you ever see Yularen in his Republic garbs ever in Lego. Now, there is a version of him from Star Wars Rebels where he is a colonel and he is wearing his white ISB or Imperial Security Bureau uniform. So this is really cool to see him in his officer uniform for the Republic. We get this nice printed display plate here, as well as our exclusive, when we slide it over you can see it a little better, our exclusive 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars block. So it's very cool. That is exclusive to this set. This is probably one of the only things I do not like about this set as in general is the actual nameplate. It is cool that it is plated, or excuse me, not stickered, it's printed. But if you look at the box, it says Venator Class Republic Attack Cruiser as the name of the ship, while the nameplate calls it a Venator Class Star Destroyer. So I just don't like, I like consistency, and there isn't that consistency across from the box and the nameplate. They might be called the same thing, but it's nice to have the box and the plate match. Just my personal opinion. So we'll go ahead and take a closer look at these minifigures. So let me slide this out of the way. So we'll start with Admiral Yularen. So we'll zoom in on him. He is an awesome figure. He does have dual molded legs as well as the correct ranking on his chest. That nice little mustache there. He doesn't have a second face, I believe. Let me see. Oh, he does. He has a more stern face on the back. But I will keep it on that cheerful face as it is a better representation. And this is just an overall good figure. It is exclusive to the set, like I just said right before this. But, you know, there's not much to say. You know, it's nice to get these characters, these named characters that are pretty darn good looking. So, there we have it. Admiral Yularen. And now we get to the more anticipated of the two of these minifigures. Clone Captain Rex. This is an amazing figure. He does come with his two twin blaster pistols, his 501st Blue Captain's shoulder pauldron, as well as his rangefinder on his helmet. If you take his helmet off here, you will see that he does come with a patch over his temple here that signifies that he had his inhibitor chip, which forced the clones to execute Order 66, which killed all the Jedi. So if we replace his helmet here and we get real close, you can see those blue markings on his helmet, which represent how he was able to weld together his Phase 1 and Phase 2 helmets that give him better movement and protection in his Phase 2 armor, which not many clones did. If I had to say a downside about this figure, I do prefer the cloth white waist capes or clone cloth commas. And I'm okay with the print as long as he's just on display. You can kind of tell what they're trying to represent there. Just it's a little bit of a disappointment that they didn't kind of dish out that extra little bit of money for the waist cape when a Dune set came out that had a massive cloth piece in it. So that's a little bit disappointing when this is such a highly sought off figure. It's a highly liked figure in the show and probably one of the most recognizable figures in Star Wars right now. So that's all I have to say about that. I know a lot of people have some choice words about the helmet holes.
They do not bother me. You know, I do like that you're able to attach accessories to your clones again. Honestly, if it doesn't bother me, I know a lot of people are kind of against it. I know some people are indifferent. I'm in the indifferent category. If they're there, they're there. If they weren't, they weren't. But it's cool to be able to add attachments again. So something about the detailing in this set, he does have accurate printing. So if you look real close, you can actually see his communicator, which is on his right arm, which is how he's able to talk to his troops. And if we slide his shoulder pauldron to the side, you can actually see his campaign tallies as well as more arm printing. So it really is a fantastic figure. I'm really happy to have him, and he will stay on display for a long time. And here we have it. We have the completed UCS Venator. Such an amazing set. I'm super excited to have it built and finally on display in the Lego room. And we'll walk around here so you guys can see a good look at both sides. So the set itself is absolutely massive. It's very heavy. I think it's around 22 pounds. And as you can see, there's only small things you notice about this set that aren't just kind of favorable. You do get a big gap right here, which honestly, when it's on display, you don't really notice that much. The command structure has that trans blue pieces that are pretty darn cool. They are supposed to represent like levels or observation areas on the ship. Of course, you see the bridges that are dual bridges here. You get your turbo lasers on 4 on each side. And these are stickers. So like here are stickers. It's one of the very few places this set has stickers. So very nice. I'm not a big fan of stickers because they do wear away over time. Now you will see there's a lot of detailing. So there's a lot of greeveling that goes on, especially on the sides of the ship. So right here, this is supposed to represent a hangar bay that has the blast doors closed. We have some massive turbo lasers on the side of the ship here. Now these are very, very fragile, so like a little slight bump does knock them off. But like I said, this isn't a play set, so when you've got them on there, they do stay. Going around to the other side, we have another set of turbo lasers. And then if you look at the hangar bay on this side, along with all the greeveling that goes on, you get an open version of the hangar bay that you saw on the other side. And this one has a little ship in it. So it's supposed to represent a gunship, which if you look down here, you'll see my UCS gunship. And the reason why they put that here is because the designer actually designed this set as well as the UCS gunship, and he wanted to add a little bit of himself into this set. So I kind of think that's a little bit of an unpopular set with a very popular set, so I'm not sure how well other fans will take it. I think it's a cool little detail. I don't think it actually looks like a gunship, in my opinion. It looks more like a, I don't know, does not an LAAT. And really cool. You'll see these are supposed to represent smaller cannons than the actual big turbo lasers up there, which is kind of cool. While we're down here, you can get a good look at how the base is set up. They are a lot more sturdier than the previous Star Destroyer model. Like, you can shake it, and this doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. I can lift it up, and you guys can actually see that rear hangar deck under that bottom hangar deck, which doesn't open up or anything. It's just kind of there for detail. And then we'll actually put that piece back on. That's one of the only things, like I said, when you're moving the bottom of it, it does come apart, just those edges, but the set itself is actually pretty stable. So it's spinner, like I said, very easy to handle. Nothing really moves on this set except for the actual turrets. So just so we can get a good look at the back side of this Venator. Wow, look at those engines. The back side of this set looks almost as good as the front side does. So if you'll see here, there is a little bit of droopage on the actual rear of the engines, but that's just because of the weight of these are actually that bad. But they shouldn't progress any further than this because if you look very closely, there is a Technic rod that actually holds these in place. so that there isn't as much droop. And it is hidden very well, so it does not affect the actual look of the set. But like I said, every part of this vendor looks amazing. They took a lot of time to detail it and make it look great. These turbo lasers, like I said, you can move them, but not very easily and not without them falling apart. So kind of once you get them on, kind of position them the way you would like them positioned for display, and kind of just leave them there. You know, I've got mine straight out because kind of pretending mine is kind of like in space dock, so not in battle or anything like that. So let's turn it back around and do our final thoughts on the set. So, final thoughts from this set. It is $700. Is it worth the money? Yes. If you are a big Star Wars fan and you love the Clone Wars, this is a must-buy set, in my opinion. I love the minifigure selection. I love the set choice. I like the design of the set. It was one of the better looking models, in my opinion. I really appreciate the time and effort they put in this. There was a lot of detail put into it. If I had to say one negative aspect about this set, is probably the nameplate here that's printed, which is still nice, but it's just the difference between the nameplate and the actual box. That's a little bit downer for me, as well as Captain Rex's waist cape, which was not included, which in the future I hope is. I would really give this set a solid 9.5 out of 10. I mean, with those little minor improvements, I think this set is a perfect 10 out of 10, in all honest opinion. It honestly doesn't get better than this. This set is absolutely amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, drop a like, drop a subscription. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry it took so long to get this thing built. Just been super busy. So thanks, guys. So I know I already said bye, but this is something my friends thought was kind of funny. So until I get the actual set on display the way I want it, I have had to keep it covered so it doesn't get all this dust and stuff on it. So they thought it'd be funny if I showed you guys how I've had it stored since I've had it built. So I just took a regular adult size towel and covered the set. So that way it stays dust free for now, at least. I know a lot of people think that's funny, but like I said, this was a $700 set. So take care of yourself, guys. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you next time.